ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயா பாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணாணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்யஜாமாதரமுனிம் ரம்யஜாமாத்திர யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜமுனிம் பஜே. லோகாச்சாரியாய குருவே கிருஷ்ண பாதஸ்ய சோனவே சம்சார போகி சந்தஷ்ட ஜீவ ஜீவாதவே நமः. So in our SrIvaishnava sampradhAya parichaya initiative, we have been going through Mokshapadi for the last several days. The Mokshapadi is a very, very important Grantham. It's one of the foremost Rahasya Granthams composed by Pallilokacharya, and it is actually a very compulsory Grantham for everyone, for every Sri Vaishnava to study and understand. We've had English lectures on this Mumukshupadi Grantham in the past, which was recorded long time ago, and now as part of this SrIvaishnava sampradhAya parichaya program, we've gone through all of those lectures and completed them as of today. First of all, it's a wonderful group of Bhagavatas where many of you are very dedicated and very sincerely following the series of lectures and the study material, which itself is very, very encouraging for us to make many more such efforts. It is a great fortune for us to be connected with this SrIvaishnava Sampradayam. Our Sampradayam is focused on the ultimate activity of eternal Kainkaryam to Bhagavan in Vaikuntham. That is the main goal of all Sri Vaishnavas. But that will happen only after our body falls down. Until then, what do? We have to engage our mind, our body, our speech in Kainkaryam for Bhagavan, Bhagavatas and Acharyas. This is our goal. As long as we are in this world, we have to engage in some Kainkaryam, which is apt for our Swarupam. It could be Bhagavad Kainkaryam, Bhagavat Kainkaryam, Acharya Kainkaryam. For that to happen, we have to first get the knowledge. And that knowledge is available in many of the Purvacharya Granthas, such as this Mumukshupadi. But getting this knowledge itself is not sufficient. That is only the first step. It is like a baby is starting to walk. Let's say the baby is somehow in a staggering manner, it walks. And the parents say, oh, that's great. That is sufficient for the baby. Let it just remain like that only. Will the parents say that? No, they will not say that. Or will the baby, will the child be happy that I made some few staggering steps? I am happy with that. Will the child be happy? No, even the child will be very enthusiastic, very eager to do more and more. Similarly, in spiritual life, in our sampradaya, getting knowledge, the two foundational knowledge, is only like a baby making a few steps. So we are doing that. We are now doing that. Now, many of us may have got exposure about our sampradayam, about our dharmam in general already. But now we have ventured into a systematic study of our sampradayam in a step-by-step manner. So in that, we are covering a few important concepts. First, we understood the basics of our dharmam. What is our SrIvaishnava Sampradayam? What are our roles and responsibilities? Who is an acharya? What is karma? What is punya, papa? How to engage in kainkaryam? How to avoid offenses, aparadams. So these are some of the basic concepts we have seen. And after that, we started going through some Rahasya Granthams such as Artha Panchakam, Navaratna Malai, and so on. These are some Granthams which are very, very foundational and which are very, very important for us to understand. So we've gone through that as well. And then we've gone into Mumukshupadi. This Mumukshupadi is a very, very important Grantham. It talks about Rahasya Trayam, that is Tirumantram, Dvaya Mahamantram, and Charma Shlokam. And Pulilokacharya has explained it in a very beautiful manner so that anyone can understand these principles. And especially with the commentary of Manavada Mamunigal, it is very easy for us to understand these principles, provided we spend a little bit time and energy and efforts on it. It is a complicated subject, but still, by the grace of Acharyas, we can understand the principles to some extent. So we've completed the Mumukshupadi series. Again, when I say completed, it's not like end of the whole subject matter or anything like that. We've got a taste of it. We've got a basic understanding of the Grantham because I only explained in my English series of lectures in a brief manner. We can elaborate it a lot and go in a very deep manner and study it thoroughly. But we've started the process. We've gone through and we've understood the basics of Mumukshupadi. So after this, what do we do next? We've also started the Divya Prabandham series, lecture series in English. We've completed up to Tirupallandu. We've done the introduction section. We've done the common Thaniyans. And then we have done Tirupallandu. So we'll make some progress. Every week we will have 2 classes. So we'll make some good progress in that area as well. Because Divya Prabandhams are our lifeline. We have to be at least familiar with the Divya Prabandhams, their structure, their categorization, the essence of each Prabandham, and so on. So we have to understand these things. So that's why we started this Divya Prabandham project, lecture series in English. So we'll go through that over the course of time. In addition to this, we are going to start enjoying another very, very important Grantham, SrIvaishNavas Divya Shastram. It is one of the ultimate Granthams in our Sampradayam. Even though it's a little too early for us to get into SrIvaishNavas because there is still a lot more clarity needs to be acquired by each one of us. Adiyan felt that again having a overall introduction to SrIvaishNavas with the help of these English lectures will be very, very helpful to understand the depth of our Sampradayam. It is not a very shallow Sampradayam, but it's a very deep and profound Sampradayam. To understand the depths of our Sampradayam, we need to at least get familiarized with SrIvaishNavas. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to go through the meanings for SrIvaishNavas with the lecture series. We will also use the commentary. Anyone who is going to seriously study SrIvaishNavas they are advised, they are recommended to get the SrIvaishNavas commentary that is in English. Pillilokacharya has authored SrIvaishNavas, and Manavada Mamnigal has done the commentary for SrIvaishNavas, and we have translated that commentary into English in an elaborate manner. It's a 2-volume book. So I suggest that those who are going to study SrIvaishNavas in English, please get that book so that it's always handy. There, the translation is available in our website also, granthamstart.coil.org. If anyone who cannot get the book, they can always refer to the website and the series of articles there where this translation is available. So, when we hear lectures, it is always recommended that we have the Grantham with us so that we can follow the lecture and understand the points more thoroughly. And also, after listening to the lectures, if we read the relevant section in that Grantham, there will be much more clarity. So, that is something which has to be done by everyone who are serious in studying the SrIvaishNavas Divya Shastra. So we will be starting that in the next couple of days. So please follow in the same manner. This learning cycle, let it continue. On the other hand, we have to also think about our anushtanams, because acquiring knowledge just for the sake of acquiring knowledge is not going to benefit us, and we won't do justice to our Purvacharyas. So we have to certainly try to improve our own lifestyle. These lifestyle changes are very important for us to make. Slowly and steadily, we have to progress. Many points. Recently, I noted down a set of points which will be very useful for everyone to introspect. For example, we have to start with the basic anushtanams such as taking bath before eating anything. See, many people will have the habit of just waking up, drinking some coffee or tea or whatever. Those things, those kind of habits should be changed. Whatever we consume, we must consume after taking bath only. Then we have to ensure that we always have Urdhva Pundram. It is said that if we see a person without Urdhva Pundram, we have to take bath. So you have to, because that is actually a sin, to see someone who don't have Urdhva Pundram. That is Thiruman Sri Churnam. So to avoid causing sins to others, we have to always ensure that we put Urdhva Pundram tilak. Men have to do it their way and women have to do it their way. Both have different ways of applying tilak, Thiruman and Sri Churnam. We have to do it properly. So that is again something which we have to do every time, every day. Not only when we go to temple or when we go to see our acharyas or anything like that, but we have to have it always. And we also have to make sure that we are always dressed properly in Sri Vaishnava way. We may be at home only. We may think, oh, I can just wear shorts, t-shirt, pants, shirts. But wherever we are, that we are a Sri Vaishnava, that is not going to change. Just because we are at our home, it is not that we are not Sri Vaishnava at that time. And when we go to temple only, we are Sri Vaishnavas. So we have to make sure, even when we are at our home, even at our office, there are many people who come in their religious clothing to office. So we must have that courage. We must develop that courage to be who we are wherever we go. So Thirumankapu, Sri Churnam, the dress code, and following basic anushtanam like always taking bath early in the morning and start our proceedings properly and so on. These must be followed. we must avoid other devata worship. After coming so far, studying Mumukshupadi and so on, we should still not have any more doubts about these basic principles. Like, why should I wear traditional clothing only? Why should I wear Thiruman Kapu always? Why should I not worship other devatas? These doubts should not come after getting to a particular stage. We must be confident about our Purvacharya's instructions, and we have to try and follow these principles slowly and steadily. There may be some revolt, some non-acceptance in the family, in the office, and so on, but everything takes only a few days. If we follow these for a few days, for a few weeks, then naturally everyone will accept that. That is the nature of anyone. So basic, our physical appearance is very, very important, and avoiding other devatas is very, very primary and very, very important. So we have to do that. And after that, we have to develop our noble qualities, good qualities, such as being compassionate, being humble, being genuine, being honest. These are the qualities of Sri Vaishnavas. We have to always ensure that we behave as the role model for others to follow. We should not be always angry and shouting at others, having jealousy, and so on. We must think beyond the body, think beyond petty things, and we must develop very noble qualities. And other aspects, such as having a shikha, for example, as Sri Vaishnavas, irrespective of our varna, males should have shikha. So we must try to develop that habit of keeping a shikha. It's never too late. Many people, if we look at other religious people, they do have their own physical appearances and they boldly come with that. It's only we are hesitating. So we should do that. And then we also have to develop habits such as waking up early, doing our activities like Sandhyavandanam, Tiruvaradhanam, Kalakshepam at regular times. It should not be random, it should not be just indisciplined. So we must have proper discipline. We must ensure that we engage in some Kainkaryam, Bhagavad Kainkaryam, Bhagavata Kainkaryam, Acharya Kainkaryam, and so on. We have to slowly progress in the right direction. We have to allocate time for studying Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya literature. Every day we must read for some time. We must listen to lectures for some time. So these need to be done. We must also try to avoid engaging in worldly entertainment, whether it's watching movies, TV, sports, and so on. Slowly we have to reduce. Maybe we cannot do it in one day. If we can do it in one day, that's fine. But if we can't do it in one day, we still have to aim for complete elimination of it over a period of time, maybe 1 month, 2 months. We keep our own milestones. And then we also have to engage our family, friends in sampradaya matters to some extent. That means we should not be engaged in discussing worldly matters, gossip, just useless topics. Even when we are discussing with our family, friends, discuss some good matters. Share whatever we have learnt about Bhagavan, about Bhagavatas, Alvars, Acharyas, about some Granthams. Maybe we learnt about Bhagavad Gita. We share about it. We may have learnt about Divya Prabandham. Share about it. Be courageous enough to share good things. Some of these we need to be thinking about and slowly improving ourselves and inspiring others in the due course. we must try to avoid being very luxurious, being very extravagant. Try to lead a simple life. These are all ideal for a Sri Vaishnava. We have to try our best to live a simple life, focused on sampradayam only, be humble, honest, helpful, and so on. So these things we can consider and we can try to implement as we go along, because these are all the things which are taught to us in our Purvacharya Granthams. Always try to engage in satsangam. If you are alone, sometimes it may bring our morale down, it may bring our motivation down. So try to find a few people who are of the same mindset to engage in studying sampradaya literature, to engage in kainkaryams. So these things we can think about. Even when we have to go outside somewhere, let's say we want to take a family to a vacation, see that you go to some divideshams and some sacred places instead of just materialistic places, so that others will also get a taste of this noble aspects. So these are the things which we have to think about as we make progress in studying our sampradaya literature, because it's not just asking questions, listening to lectures, because anyone can do it. If I have some free time, I can just sit and listen to lectures. And if I have some 100 questions, I can keep asking the questions. I can keep firing the questions to somebody who is answering those. But ultimately, what are we taking with us from those lectures, from those reading, from those answers? What are we taking as our actions to do for us? What do we want to change in our lifestyle? So these things we need to focus and change. We are not even going into very traditional orthodox way of living. It's very, very difficult for many people, especially those who are not familiar with such principles, such lifestyle, and those who are very used to just city life, just living, waking up at whatever time we want, going out wherever we want, spending money like there is no tomorrow. So for those who have lived that life, it's very difficult to adjust and adapt into a very traditional lifestyle. But we have to try and do it. Slowly, slowly we have to make progress. And once we get to a particular stage, then we can think about further progress, like relocating to a dividesham, especially a dividesham where there is more natural engagement than city life, just artificial life. And then moving there, what do? We have to engage in some kainkaryam. We have to find out what kind of kainkaryams we can do and how we can spend our time in such kainkaryams. How do we engage in satsangam? How do we share this great treasure of knowledge to others? We have benefited. Now, if we don't share it with others, then that's injustice. We have to share the knowledge which we get, the glories of Bhagavatas, Satsangam. We have to share it with others and engage others also. We have to work in a coherent and cohesive fashion, manner to propagate our Sampradayam principles. So these are things which we have to think once we come to a particular stage where at least our lifestyle is aligned with Sampradaya lifestyle to some extent. Like we have to see difference between clothes which we wore in the night while sleeping and clothes which we wear in the daytime. There are certain things, if we touch those clothes which we wore in the night, we have to take bath, we have to cleanse ourselves. If we mix the cooked food and uncooked raw material, then the whole place needs to be cleaned. So these are things which Orthodox families will follow. But we also have to start knowing about these and start following these things slowly. So all of these need to be considered. I'm happy that we've completed Mokshupadi, and many are very eager to proceed to SrIvaishNava Bhushanam. SrIvaishNava Bhushanam is not a simple grantham. It is a very, very tough and very, very intense subject matter, very, very deep and profound subject matter. Everyone should try to be in a very pure mindset. Mindset is very important here. Our external circumstances may be not so conducive, but our mind should be very, very pure. We should not have any doubts in the capability and the mercy of our acharyas. We should not have any iota of doubt in the content. We should not have any deviation in the mind. We should not think about compromises always. We should try to improve, keep improving, and also carry along our family. It's not that we are improving, but we leave our family behind and lead into conflicts and all that. We have to ensure that we engage everyone, we embrace everyone in this path by personal demonstration of good qualities. Be very, very humble, be very, very compassionate, be understanding about the situation of other members in the family, and try to help them according to their situation. Don't force upon our knowledge and our standards, because we ourselves have progressed after a long time and we still have a lot to progress ourselves. So it's not that we are in a best platform. We are just trying to become very good. So we can help others by personal demonstration of our good habits, good dispositions, and just by seeing the goodness in us, just by seeing the noble qualities in us, others should automatically realize and respect and change their lives also. But sometimes that itself will not be sufficient. That is, our personal conduct will not be sufficient. We also have to expressively inform others about certain aspects which are important. But we have to do it humbly. We don't do it arrogantly that I know these things, you don't know these things. That kind of attitude should not be there. Rather, it should be in a very gentle sharing mentality. So these things which we can ponder. If anyone has any thoughts, comments, or if anyone wants to share any feedback from our initiative so far, we've come almost for 4 months, 4 to 5 months now. So if anyone wants to share any of their realizations, please feel free to do so. But this meeting is going to end. So I'll conclude this and start a new meeting. And then we can get the opinion of all the participants and other aspects like what we want to improve in our initiatives, in audience presentations. So those things can be shared by all the Bhagavatas. First, I will end this meeting and I will send a link again. Please join in that link.